Similarities between science and spirituality. 1. Search for truth. Both science and spirituality are deeply rooted in the quest to discover the ultimate truth of existence. Science seeks this truth through observation, experimentation, and logical reasoning, striving to understand the laws that govern the physical universe. Spirituality, on the other hand, aims to uncover truth through inner experience, self-inquiry, and states of higher consciousness. While science explores what the universe is and how it functions, spirituality seeks to answer why we exist and who we truly are. Both approaches are vital and complementary in the human pursuit of meaning. 2. Exploration of reality. Science focuses on studying the external, physical world, from galaxies and atoms to biological life and natural phenomena. It uses tools like telescopes, microscopes, and particle accelerators to expand our knowledge of the universe. Spirituality, by contrast, turns inward to explore the inner landscape of consciousness, thoughts, emotions, awareness, and the self. Through meditation, contemplation, and self-awareness, spiritual seekers investigate the very essence of being. Despite different tools and directions, both are driven by a desire to understand the true nature of reality from their respective lenses. 3. Use of observation. Scientific inquiry relies on careful, objective observation of the external world. Scientists gather data, form hypotheses, and conduct experiments to observe outcomes under controlled conditions. Spiritual practice, though different in method, also emphasizes observation but of the inner world. Spiritual seekers attentively watch their thoughts, emotions, and bodily sensations in silence, seeking patterns, clarity, and self-understanding. In both cases, observation sharpens awareness and becomes a path to knowledge, scientific knowledge in one and self-knowledge in the other. 4. Transformative power. Scientific breakthroughs, such as electricity, the internet, and vaccines, have transformed how humans live, communicate, and survive. They reshape societies and expand human capabilities. Likewise, spiritual insights, such as the realization of unity, compassion, or detachment, have the power to transform the inner life. They change how individuals think, relate to others, handle suffering, and find peace. While science changes our outer environment, spirituality changes our inner landscape, leading to greater harmony, purpose, and fulfillment. 5. Discipline and method. Science demands rigorous discipline, careful observation, accurate measurement, repeatable results, and years of dedicated study. The path to scientific understanding is systematic and often slow. Spirituality also requires consistent practice, whether through meditation, ethical living, prayer, or mindfulness. It involves mastering the mind, cultivating virtues, and deep inner work. Both fields require patience, perseverance, and methodical progress over time. Without dedication and structure, neither path yields its deepest truths. 6. Universal impact. Science affects everyone, regardless of culture or belief. It shapes technology, medicine, transportation, and global systems. Its influence on the physical world is immense and measurable. Spirituality, though subtler, has a universal impact on the mental, emotional, and moral dimensions of human life. It promotes peace, empathy, resilience, and inner strength across all societies. Together, science and spirituality enhance both the material and the moral evolution of humanity, guiding us toward a more advanced and compassionate civilization. Differences between science and spirituality. 1. Objective versus subjective. Science relies on objective, measurable facts. Spirituality is rooted in personal, subjective experience. 2. Tools of inquiry. Science uses tools like microscopes, telescopes, and equations. Spirituality uses introspection, meditation, and self-inquiry. 3. Focus of study. Science studies matter, energy, and natural laws. Spirituality focuses on consciousness, soul, and the nature of the self. 4. Proof and validation. Scientific truths require repeatable experiments. Spiritual truths are validated through personal realization and inner peace. 5. Changing versus timeless. Scientific theories evolve with new data. Core spiritual principles often remain constant across cultures and centuries. 6. Goal orientation. The goal of science is to understand and control the natural world. The goal of spirituality is to transcend the ego and realize oneness with all life. Quantum physics versus Indian spiritual philosophy. 10 fascinating comparisons. 1. Reality is not what it seems. 1. Quantum physics reveals that what we perceive as solid matter is actually made up of atoms that are mostly empty space, with tiny particles vibrating within fields of energy. The solidity we feel is an illusion created by forces at the subatomic level. 2. Vedanta teaches that the material world is Maya, or illusion, a temporary projection of consciousness. What appears real and permanent is constantly changing, and therefore cannot be the ultimate reality. Both perspectives suggest that what we take as real is far more mysterious and insubstantial than it appears. 2. Everything is interconnected. 1. In quantum entanglement, two particles can be deeply connected in such a way that a change in one instantly affects the other, regardless of distance. This implies a hidden unity beneath the apparent separation in space. 2. Buddhism and Vedanta also teach that all beings are fundamentally one, connected through the universal field of consciousness. No thought, emotion, or action is isolated, it ripples through the whole, echoing the quantum idea of a deeply entangled universe. 3. Observer affects reality. 1. In quantum physics, the famous double-slit experiment shows that particles behave differently when they are being observed, implying that consciousness has a role in shaping physical outcomes. 2. In spiritual practice, especially in meditation, it is understood that your inner state, the clarity of your awareness, shapes how you experience the world. What you see outside is filtered through your inner lens, emphasizing the power of perception and intention. 4. Beyond space and time. 1. Quantum theory allows particles to be in multiple states or locations simultaneously, and some interpretations suggest time may not be linear at the quantum level. This defies our everyday understanding of space and time. 2. Vedantic philosophy asserts that the true self, Atman, is beyond time and space. It is eternal, unchanging, and ever-present. Both suggest that our true essence may exist in dimensions beyond physical laws. 5. Consciousness is fundamental. 1. Some modern physicists and philosophers propose that consciousness is not a byproduct of the brain, but a fundamental aspect of the universe, possibly even more primary than matter. 2. Indian philosophy, especially Vedanta, has long held that consciousness, Chaitanya, is the ground of all being, the source from which all forms emerge and dissolve. Matter is seen as a secondary expression of this underlying awareness. 6. Unity behind diversity. 1. According to quantum field theory, all particles emerge from a single underlying field that permeates the universe. Everything we see arises as variations or excitations within this unified field. 2. In Vedanta, this unified source is called Brahman, the absolute reality that manifests as all names and forms. Though diversity exists at the surface, Everything is one at the core. 7. No solid self. 1. Quantum physics demonstrates that subatomic particles lack a fixed identity, they exist in a cloud of probabilities until observed. Their behavior depends on interaction. 2. Buddhism teaches the concept of anatta, meaning no self. The individual self is seen as a collection of changing thoughts, sensations, and perceptions, not a permanent, separate entity. Both views point to the illusion of a solid, unchanging identity. 8. Emptiness with potential. 1. The quantum vacuum may seem empty, but it's actually teeming with virtual particles and energy fluctuations. It holds the potential for matter to arise at any moment. 2. Spiritually, a still and silent mind, often reached in deep meditation, may seem like nothingness, but it is filled with infinite creative potential. From this stillness, insight, healing, and transformation arise. 9. Collapse of the known. 1. In the quantum world, particles exist in many possible states until they are measured. At the moment of observation, these possibilities collapse into one outcome. This challenges our assumption of a predictable, fixed reality. 2. In deep meditation, fixed mental patterns and identities dissolve. This collapse of the known mental structure can lead to awakening, an opening into pure awareness and insight beyond logic and language. 10. Search for ultimate truth. 1. Both quantum physicists and spiritual seekers are driven by deep questions. What is the universe made of? Who or what am I? What is the source of everything? 2. While science uses instruments and formulas to probe the outer cosmos, spirituality uses introspection and meditative insight to explore the inner world of consciousness. Both journeys ultimately point toward a mystical, unified reality that lies beneath appearances. Both disciplines, though very different in method, seek to uncover the deeper layers of existence. One looks outward into matter, the other looks inward into consciousness, but both point to a reality far beyond the surface. Theory of relativity versus Indian spiritual philosophy. 6. Eye-opening comparisons. 1. Time is not absolute. Relativity teaches that time is flexible, it moves differently depending on speed and gravity. Vedanta says time is part of the illusion, Maya. The true self, Atman, exists beyond time, in eternal presence. 2. Everything is relative. In physics, motion, space, and time are relative to the observer, there is no single fixed point of view. In Indian philosophy, all experiences are relative to the mind. Reality appears different based on one's level of awareness or consciousness. 3. Unity of space and time. Einstein showed that space and time are not separate, they form a single fabric called spacetime. Vedanta teaches that all forms and moments are woven into one seamless reality, Brahman, the all-pervading consciousness. 4. Observer is central. In relativity, the position and motion of the observer affect what is measured. In spiritual practice, the witnessing self is central, the experiencer is more important than the experience. 5. Illusion of solidity. Relativity, along with quantum theory, shows that solid matter is mostly energy in motion. Indian sages declare that the world of forms is illusory and ever-changing, and only the unchanging spirit is real. 6. Beyond ordinary limits. Relativity challenges our everyday understanding of reality by revealing that space and time are not fixed. According to Einstein's theory, light can bend near massive objects like stars, and time itself can slow down depending on speed or gravity. These astonishing insights go far beyond common sense, reshaping how we view motion, time, and the universe itself. Spiritual teachings guide us beyond the limits of ego and senses to realize the infinite self and the oneness of all. Conclusion. Both the theory of relativity and Indian spiritual wisdom challenge us to look beyond appearances and discover a deeper, interconnected, and timeless reality. Science explores the outer universe, while spirituality explores the inner universe, but both offer profound insight into who we are and how the cosmos truly works.